That one's making a little bit of racket. That one's smooth. That one's shot. That one's smooth. That one's smooth. Need to get this thing lifted up, figure out if the parts that came with this thing actually rebuild this spindle, or if it has to be a complete replacement spindle. But yeah, that one's in bad shape. Let me get this thing up where I can work on it. Yeah, that one's shot. Let's get the blade pulled off first. It was on there good. That bearing is destroyed. Alright, so I got some parts in. What I noticed when I was trying to get this thing apart was this spindle has a crack right here. And then this spindle is cracked all the way through here. And I think it had it's got another crack right up inside there. Must have hit something hard there. So bought two new spindles, Sten's part number 285976, whole spindle assembly. Came with a pulley, bearings, grease fitting, came with a new nut. So it's got everything I need. And then this idler pulley, which was bad on the deck, if you buy it as is, by the right part number, it's like $100. What I found was a 810 idler pulley. Seems to be a really good match. So the difference is this little bushing that's in the center here that comes through this side needs to be pressed out. And I think you've seen me do that on other videos. But anyway, I'm going to use a socket. I'm going to hammer this thing out. And we're just going to pop it into the new bearing. All right, let's get these things. Let's pull these out. We're going to be setting this on there just like that, and we're going to place it through from this side. Alright, so on the inside edge, I anticipate that I can access the grease fitting from this side a little bit easier than coming through this side. So I'll put the grease fitting off to the side there. That spacer ring is right here with the flat edge on the bottom down here. I'm not going to tighten these just yet because I want to get the torque spec on them. All I want to do is run them in. So we'll get that one swapped out, and then I'll go look up the torque spec because I want to make sure that this steel doesn't crack that brand new aluminum housing, because these things are $100 a piece. Again, another spacer, stiffener. All right, let me look up the torque. I'll be right back with you guys. All right, so what I'm finding is they said that it's either 20 or 30 foot-pounds of torque, which that's a wide span. I got you. They did say to put some Loctite on it, though. So I'll tell you what, we're going to go ahead and put some Loctite on it. And I believe we're going to try to set it for 20 foot-pounds, see what it feels like. And if it still feels like it's just too loose, I'm going to go ahead and bring it up to 25. If it's still too loose, I'll probably bring it up to 30. Go ahead and set this for 20. That seems awful loose. So we're going to bring this to 25. Still has a little bit of a loose feel to it. I know it can handle it, so we're going to go ahead and bring it up to 30. Okay, so 30 foot-pounds. Let's go ahead and get this one done the same way. Hate using an extension on a torque wrench. Get this little bushing out of here. Looks like I can use a 10mm socket, a hammer, and we'll use a socket to catch it. Yes, I do have a press, but I just want to see if this can be done this way, because not everybody watching this might have a press. Yep, that looks like it's going to fit nicely. Now we want to support that bearing. I want to be very cautious supporting that bearing. Make sure that it's centered up on that inside silver part, that race. Excuse me, not the race, but the inner part of the bearing. We're just going to tap that on in. So as it changes pitch, there we go. Yep, and I can feel the bearing grinding on this one here. So yeah, so a $35 idler pulley versus a, I think it was 110 or maybe 95, something like that. It was up there in price, and it was literally, the only difference was it didn't have that center hub support. I'm not trying to make places go out of business, don't get me wrong. I just feel it's kind of crazy to charge somebody that much money. I do see something slightly different, and that is when that washer is sitting on top of there. So picture the inside part of the bearing needs to be able to turn freely against that. So basically this is going to be stationary, this one's going to be spinning. So it needs to be able to turn freely, and I can put that washer there as a spacer, and I can drop this on there. But when I do, it feels like it's just touching that dust cover. Seems like it's just touching there. So I can do a couple things. I can either eliminate the dust cover, which I really don't want to do because then grass and everything is going to collect in here, or I can just go get another washer to just barely push this up. Or I could also grind off this lip on that dust cover, but I'm just going to use a little washer real quick. There we go. Just found a little washer. Drop it on there as a spacer. That's going to mate up against the first washer and give me just enough clearance so that these no longer touch. So then I've got a locking nut on the backside. So it wasn't an exact match, but again, throw a washer on there and save myself some money. Once it's tight, make sure everything still moves freely. We need to grease these two up, and we need to put some bearings in that other one. So let's get those bearings done first. So normally I'm a very big proponent of changing races out with bearings. They're a matched set, and I'm going to catch a lot of heck for not changing out the race. But I can tell you that the reason why that other one broke, I'm fairly confident, was that the race, when it was coming out, shattered the housing. So, because I was trying to pull that race out when I noticed that crack. So I don't know if it cracked when I was trying to pull that race out or if it cracked before then. Let's go ahead and pre-pack some bearings and get these things put in there. Brand new bearing. I'm going to go ahead and pack the other one at the same time. Alright, let's set that right there. Get these gloves changed out. There was a metal sleeve inside these pulleys, so if you did take it apart, make sure you put that metal sleeve back in. You'll notice that one of these caps slides on very easily and turns. And if you try to push it on the wrong way with the cone facing out, you'll actually roll the seal. So make sure it's going on the right way. So for me, the right way would be facing just like this, so that when I push this outer part in, it's not going to mash it. So I'll try to get really close up. So this is going to be my outside edge, and the inside lip is facing, like the cones are going up like that. So this part of the seal right here should be facing to the inside. The reason I want to bring that up is your seal may look different because I've got two different style seals in this thing right now. So we're going to tighten these up to 70 foot-pounds. Throw a block of wood in there just to help me. There's 70. All right, let's get this thing mounted onto the mower. I dropped the deck and slid it back into those two grooves right there. I'm going to try to lower the deck arms and see if I can get those to marry up. Let's drop that pin in there to hold it down. Drops on that side. I'll make sure the other side's on before I pin it. Get that side pinned. Get that side pinned. Let me find out how to put this deck belt on. Luckily you can kind of tell. So front of deck is up this way. So it goes around that one, on the inside of that one, back to the clutch, and it looks like the right side of the mower has the one that comes around that front pulley there. So on the right side we do a carry around, otherwise it just basically just like that. Alright, I'm on the left side of the mowing deck. The belt comes around this outside of this pulley, goes around that front pulley, then it goes behind an idler pulley right back there. So that dog leg I was showing you earlier actually occurs on the left side of the deck. Let's get the covers on this thing and give it a try. There it is, Cub Cadet Z-Force S, 60-inch cut, a little bit of maintenance, it's running like a top. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Hope you got something out of the video. Really appreciate you. I'll catch you on the next one.